Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high. Hands up high. Till I feel the lights down right now. Put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark perfume. Go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you. And you're in the mood for empathy. There's blood in my pen. Better yet, for your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga, don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga, that ain't good game, homie, sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S.
Can I tell you something? Why is what? If heaven and place on heaven. quiet, but I hear you. Say and tell me, baby. Say our time will make enough time. The times you wasn't really waking up. Now you feel said I couldn't miss you touch. I need to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. So come closer with you, won't you? Can I tell you something for what it's worth? We've had it, that's all show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all please be don't just be nothing to me. What you do to me, yeah. Please be don't just be nothing to me, yeah. What you do to me,
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark room, purple, go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you and you're in the mood for empathy. There's blood in my pen. Better yet with your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga that ain't good game home is sorry. They say conversation rule the nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S. You can get it, you can get it, you can get it.
Show me where I'm going. Should you be my vote? 'Cause I believe you know just what you're doing now. Baby, now we can coast. Let's go, let's go. Let's don't get in a hurry. No, that's too slow. Go ahead and put that thing in the I want you to buy. Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast and you do what you want. I guess I'm doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want. What you want?
My new bitch look like Tyler Perry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know if she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, yeah, no maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going where I want.
it's some me time.
Hope you doing what you want.
Crib by the beach like Odell. No, my mom, my killers don't tell. Shadow my mom, cause I New York the shelf. Now my bitch is Chanel. Will you be my leading lady? I wanna call you and get a little maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going where I want.
it's some me time.
Hope you doing what you want. Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast and you do what you want.
In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
it's some me time.
You doing what you want.
In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
it's some me time.
You doing what you want.
Maybe I'll love myself, I don't know. Leave me here, I'll fuck myself. See me in the mirror, I duck myself. Don't need much, so fuck my wealth.
I need you in the morning, but I need you now. Yeah, yeah. I know I get it what you need. I know what you like. I feel it coming. Johnny got the essence. I try to read you, and I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I tried to live, but I can't. I don't know why I got the wall. drive me out of my mind. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body. You don't need no other body. Then I need a mess of my mind. And I need to get free up your mind. Say your body talk to me nice. Saying I'm my love you didn't need for your life. Yeah, our love no be like. Say every day together, yeah, day and night. Yeah, if I leave you go by. Yeah, if you leave I go. Love me your body, baby. Love me your body, baby. As you're whining your body, baby. So crazy. Love me your body, baby. Girl, you want it to me. I just wanna let you know. Oh, baby, day. Don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body. You don't need no other body, baby. Ask me, baby. No one, yeah, no one, baby. Until the morning, my walking up from your loving. I just wanna get you beside me. Give me all you need, give me all you need, give me all you, give me all you need, give me all you need, give me all. Make I give you all you need, every touch you need, give you all. Make I give you all you need, baby. Yeah. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body. Yeah. You don't need no other body. Girl, I want you there. Girl, I want you there. I need your love. I need your I want you there. Oh, 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 oh. Baby, love, I know you there.
Hotel shining stars, big dip. Get a lot of haystack gang in the city.
What's going on, y'all? Good morning. Happy Monday. Time for another work week. Let's get into it. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hey, Miss Lena. Hey, Renee. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Margie. Hey, Kashell from the bushes. Thank you, baby. Hey, Lady Marie. Champs girl. Riaz. Miss Rosalind. Hey, E. Brooks. Hey, Ravishing. Miss B. I think that's it for right now. Hey, wife and mama girl. How y'all doing? It's Monday. Y'all ready to get into it? I feel like I done had a full day already, y'all. This don't make no sense. Fucking with Trey, you'll feel that way. I'm just saying. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you the truth, boy. Listen. Thank y'all so much for joining this live stream. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. Okay. Hit the like button to get this live in the algorithm. Alright. Also, please be sure to support the channel. You can hit the Cash App. You can hit the PayPal. You can hit the super chat or the the super sticker. Hey Stacy, at work in the bushes. Yeah, like most. I get it, I respect it, and I love it. I know y'all be watching me in the bushes from work. Um, so listen, let's talk about this bond reduction. Let's talk about it, okay? So y'all know, as y'all know, we are covering the case of Carmelo Anthony, accused of first-degree murder in the unaliving of Austin Metcalf. All right, we got previous live streams when we gotten into it. So if you're in here and you have not seen those lives, please go back and check out the replays. Yeah, but we're here today and we're gonna discuss it. So shout out to Renee. Much love, Truth. Much love to you, Renee. Thank you so much, baby, for always being a supporter. In fact, I think I intended on making you. Let me do this. Wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. Oh, y'all, that's me. That's my short I just uploaded. Let me do this real quick. Blessings to everybody. Blessings to everybody. Y'all, let me do something real quick. Let's see. I don't know why I keep going to that. So I know a lot of y'all been covering this case along with me. I appreciate it. I don't understand why. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, let me do this real quick. Shout out to the 33 likes already in the building. Thank y'all so much for the likes. I appreciate that. All right. So let's get into it. So at about, I want to say between 9 and 10 o'clock a.m. this morning, Carmelo Anthony had a bond reduction hearing. Y'all know I'm praying that this stuff will play. If not, we do audio. I like to show y'all visuals, but if I can't do that because of my, whatever's going on with my equipment, we would do audio. But Carmelo Anthony had a bond reduction hearing this morning. Shout out to no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, he attended a bond reduction hearing, and thank God, praise God, as far as I feel that you welcome, Renee, baby. You are a true support, and I appreciate you so much. So his bond was reduced, y'all. They were asking initially his bond was $1 million, which I thought was a lot, but the truth let me know that's part of the protocol or whatever. But praise God, his bond was reduced to $250,000. Now, that's still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. But in the whole grand scheme of things, it's plausible for this family, I think. Now, I will say, and we're gonna get into some videos or whatever of the fact that and I kept saying GoFundMe before, but it's not a GoFundMe. Actually, his GoFundMe was taken down, and we're gonna get into some videos about that too as well eventually. But it's a GoSendMe or some sort. I've never heard of that, but apparently it's something like a GoFundMe. That account has raised, the last I checked, over $450,000. Shout out to the contributors of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of money, but seems a little more doable. Right, doable. Right. That's what I say, wife and mommy. And the thing about it is, for me here where I am, $250,000 is the standard, or at least a $500,000. I don't think I've ever covered a case here where I live or seen of a case here where I live, even in the case I think the only case that I remember that could have came close to that was when this guy, and this was back when I was in like, no, I wasn't in high school. I think I was out of high school, but this guy unalived the cop. This guy unalived the cop. Now I do remember that bond being excessive, and I think it was actually like 1 million. I'm not for sure, but it kind of behooved me that I saw that $1 million bond for this young man, and I've seen cases here where people were charged with first degree murder, and their bond was like 50,000. That's why it took me by surprise. I've seen people here actually where I live be charged with murder, and their bond was like 50,000, and that's no joke. But I guess it's according to whatever, whoever, whatever, what the times are, and y'all know what I mean by that. But um, I did. I when I saw that, and I had been looking for it because y'all know, like I told y'all Friday, I knew that case that hearing was coming up today. So when I saw that, and I was hoping I would see that before I went live today, and I just fell down in prayer because I feel like y'all know how I feel about this case, and I just feel like even with all this going on, the fact that this young man's life has been altered, changed, and it will never be the same again. I feel a little better that the bond was set at a doable amount to where I feel like these parents can bring their son home. Now we're gonna talk about it because it's gonna be in this little clip that I play. The fact that he was placed on house arrest, and you know what? To be honest, I think that's best. I honestly think that's best for him to be placed on house arrest. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I know as a parent, as a mother, I can't speak as a father, but as a mother, I know that mother is going to do everything and anything in her power to get that bond paid and bring her son home. He's 17 years old, sitting up in an adult jail. That's enough said for me to know that this woman probably, the whole family actually. But when I speak about the mother, y'all, I speak from me being a mother. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I always say as a mother, and I don't, that's not me like not acknowledging the dad and the other siblings, because he got three other siblings and the entire family as a whole going through. I just speak, for the mother because I am a mother. What, Trey?
I ain't saying nothing. Actually, I was
Oh,
just doing a sound test. How I sound.
okay.
I beat you to your own live, by the way.
You
You
always do
seen
most
it?
of the
I was
time.
here when you started.
Most of the time you do. But yeah, y'all, and I said that, and let me say this. We're gonna get into the barn reduction, y'all. We're gonna get into the little short clip. But let me say this. I also want to send out my sincere, oh really, Stacy? Yeah. My sincere condolences to the family of Austin Metcalf. Now, Austin Metcalf was laid to rest on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. From what I understand, I have not seen any footage or anything about the actual services or whatever. I just know I think, and you know what? I think I do have a little short clip of people going into the church, but I'm gonna go through my playlist and see. But yeah, condolences to that family. I also know, I also know how that mother feel as well, losing a child. I do, sympathize and empathize and feel for her too as well. I know her weekend was, you know, probably far worse than Carmelo's mom, but I just don't place a level of intensity on either situation. I just think all of it is sad. Thank you, Ebooks. I think all of it is sad. I pray for all. When I say all, I mean both families. And I pray just God will strengthen them to get through this. Um, because it's really sad. Hey Melissa girl, how you doing, boo? So yeah, we're gonna get into it. So let's see if I think that's all I wanted to say before I got started. Other than the fact that please, y'all, please hit the like button, and the likes are liking. Actually, the likes were liking before I started. Thank you, Riaz. I appreciate that. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all support the channel. You can always hit the super chat, the super sticker, the cash app, or the PayPal. Let's get into it, okay? Now let's see if this clip is gonna play. And this first clip that I'm gonna play is the little short news clip concerning um the bail reduction. Okay.
Within the last hour, a judge granted the Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing another student at a track meet in Frisco. Anthony claims he acted in self-defense. Chris Odgi live from the courthouse in McKinney. And Chris, the judge heard from Anthony's family this morning before making her decision.
Yeah, Kara, this hearing just wrapped up. We heard from Carmelo Anthony's father. He testified about his son, and in the end, the judge did decide to lower the bond from $1 million to $250,000 to the judge and stared straight forward while his father, Andrew Anthony, testified about how his son is the oldest of 4 siblings, a straight-A student, active in his church, and worked 2 jobs, criminal history, all factors his defense brought up when asking the...
Okay, it dropped. Now, it dropped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my audio. I was telling Trey this morning on his live, it seems as though this whole screen sharing thing does better in the and I think it has something to do with StreamYard, to be honest. But the whole screen sharing thing does better in the evening time for some reason. Maybe it's because a lot of people be on StreamYard during the day. I don't know. I really don't know.
Power on.
But I ain't got
Bluetooth
time to focus on that
pairing.
right now, because what I'm going to do
Bluetooth connected.
is we're going to play the audio, okay? And of course, I will put a visual. All right, let's do this.
Within the last hour, a judge granted the...
Hold on, lady. Let me make sure the volume is turned up. All right.
Within the last hour, a judge granted the request to lower the bond for a North Texas teen facing capital murder charges. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing another student at a track meet in Frisco. Anthony claims he acted in self-defense. Chris Odgi live from the courthouse in McKinney. And Chris, the judge heard from Anthony's family this morning before making her decision.
Yeah, Kara, this hearing just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. In it, we heard from Carmelo Anthony's father. He testified about his son, and in the end, the judge did decide to lower the bond from $1 million to $250,000. Carmelo Anthony entered the courtroom handcuffed, wearing a yellow inmate jumpsuit. He spoke only to identify himself to the judge and stared straight forward while his father, Andrew Anthony, testified about how his son is the oldest of 4 siblings, a straight-A student, active in his church, and worked 2 jobs while serving as captain of the football and track team. To this point, he's not had any criminal history. All factors his defense brought up when asking the judge to lower the bond. The amount they were asking for was $150,000. The prosecution, though, argued the bond should have stayed at $1 million, even asking Andrew Anthony about the online fundraiser that's raised $412,000 for his son's defense. Ultimately, though, the
I'm gonna stop that right there. I wasn't gonna stop this clip because it's so short, but I want to make a point because I got some clips or some videos that we're gonna play about this whole outrage about the funds that are being raised. Now, listen, I don't know how y'all feel about this, and I know a lot of y'all probably can't type because y'all are at work right now. But if you got an opinion on this, type it in the chat if you can. It's a big uproar. And I mean, when I say a big uproar, it is a big uproar about the fact that this family is getting supported, monetarily for help in defending their son, which means they had a GoFundMe, which was taken down, right? And then they got this other account, which is raising, praise God, numerous amounts of money. And I mean, it is a big uproar about the fact that this family is being shown support. Now, you got the other family, which I feel the same way. They should be able to have a GoFundMe or whatever to raise funds for whatever or whatever. I will say this though, I think it's pretty odd. I think it's pretty strange. And maybe it's done all the time when people get GoFundMes for like funerals and stuff like that. Which, let me say something. I've never had to ever, and praise God, and I pray it never happens, had to have a GoFundMe to bury a family member ever. Never, no type of fundraiser or anything like that, because this is how my family rolls. So I don't know how the whole GoFundMe process works. What I do know is that even when you put up a GoFundMe to say you are putting it up for a burial, it don't work like that. Like when you get a GoFundMe and people donate, it's a certain amount of time that has to go by before you're actually able to get those funds. From what I understand, if I'm wrong, anybody can correct me. Now I can understand you putting a GoFundMe up and saying it's for this person that passed away. We're putting it up for the family, for the kids, for the children, for the defense fund, and they say you're not supposed to do that. But hey, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not familiar with the rules and all that. So even if a person puts up a GoFundMe and say I'm putting it up to bury my family member, they don't get that money. People normally bury their family members like in 1 or 2 weeks after they pass. But you don't get access to that money that quick. So what I'm saying is this: I find it odd that now we know from what's on the account that go send me or whatever account for Carmelo. It says that I guess it's to help with his defense, right? And believe me, that defense is gonna cost some money, right? So, but then you got on the other end, you got the Metcalf family who put up a GoFundMe the day of. I'm gonna repeat that. And listen, I'm gonna try not to be biased in this. I'm just gonna offer up my sincere opinions on everything that's going on. The same day this young man passed away, that GoFundMe was set up. Not only that, and I've stated this before, y'all, that for them parents, even that his twin, God bless him, because I promise y'all he's scarred for life. But for them to conduct all these interviews that they conducted the day of, the day after, the next day, the next day, and the next day, all these interviews, they were able emotionally, mentally, physically to do all of these interviews so soon after this took place. It's beyond me. It's like beyond me, y'all. Because all I could think about is what I felt, how I felt, and how I was barely here amongst the living when that happened to my son. There was no way that I would be able to get in front of a camera and talk about the death of my son the way. Now, to be honest, the dad seemed more emotional than the mom, I think, and I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. I gotta be honest. The emotions that the mom showed to me, honestly, it felt forced to me. It wasn't like it felt forced. But that's just my opinion. Okay. But I just don't see how they did it. I just don't. But my whole thing is I don't see why they feel like that family deserves support and Carmelo's family didn't. I think everybody needs to. I think they all deserve support. I think they all should have their supporters. I do. I honestly do. Um, shit, like you just can't. Stacey said, I agree with the support. They're going to need all they can to help their son's defense. Absolutely. And I agree with even support for Austin's family. You know what I'm saying? It's just a messed up situation. But anyway, let me finish this clip.
And even asking Andrew Anthony about the online fundraiser that's raised $412,000 for his son's defense. Ultimately, though, the judge said the purpose of bond is not a punishment, but to ensure the defendant returns.
And that's what people don't get. The purpose of bond is not for punishment, because you got to understand, no matter what we know or what we don't know, Carmelo is considered to be innocent until proven guilty as far as what he's being charged with. So his bond is not a punishment. It's to ensure that he shows up for court. And like I said Friday, I think, of course, the young man is going to show up for court. Well, of course. Drew, what do you see in the mind that made you feel? First of all, she was sort of counter to me, honestly, and this is my honest opinion, Lisa. Doesn't make it gospel at all. Even when she was trying to force tears, I didn't see it. I didn't. It seems like she only showed emotion when certain things were said by the interviewer. It was like she was following a script. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, he said this, so this is a moment where I need to break down. Or they made this point and this is what. And I'm gonna play. Listen, I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean when we look at portions of these interviews. Listen, Melissa, I debated over the weekend whether or not I would be able to cover this case and actually like be true and honest in everything I say, no matter how it makes me look. Because everybody that's watching me, as far as the true siblings in the state gang, know that I've been in that woman's position. I have, and the way the brain works, most of the people that know my situation would think, well, truth, you've been in her position. Like, how can you have this or that to say about her or feel this and that way about what's going on? Like, you should automatically take the side of the family who lost their loved ones. And that could be true, but that's not my reality. Like even though I do feel for the woman, I do have empathy, I do have sympathy, I absolutely know what she's going through, but that's still not gonna make me come out here and say that things that I see or not address things that I see wrong with this case. You know what I'm saying? Like, even okay, I'm gonna give you a personal example. Even when it came to my son and what happened to him, right? I had to acknowledge the fact that this guy he murdered my son. He had a past. My son, and I've said this to y'all, and Melissa, I don't know if you were supporting in the bushes maybe when I actually was going through this or whatever, but my son was no angel. My son was, he wasn't a bad kid. Don't get it twisted, but he was a kid nonetheless. He was a teenager, mischievous, smart as a whip. It be those smart ones that you have to really watch because you do. But he wasn't even though, and I know y'all heard the rumors that he actually got murdered while carjacking a car. That's an absolute fucking lie. That's a absolute fucking lie. Hold on a minute, y'all. Hey, Juicy Kim. You're not late, boo. We just not really getting started. How you doing, boo? I'm sorry, I apologize for that. But I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, Melissa. So you said no truth, I wasn't around. Okay, that's okay, Melissa, because I have decided after what 2021, 4 years. 4 years that I'm actually gonna do a story time. Hey, amazing. How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Glad to see you in the chat. Melissa, I'm not gonna really get into the detail. I know, but this is the thing, Melissa. You as a true sip, I know you don't heard, certain things that's been said or whatever. When it comes to my son, I choose not to address those things because I choose not to address them. I am gonna do an actual story time on my channel, my Pain into Purpose channel. I hadn't decided if I'm gonna wait to, because see, Lord knows the way the world goes. I don't even know if I'm gonna be here the next anniversary date of his death, because the anniversary date of his death actually just passed in February. I'm thinking I may do it for his birthday, which is in July, but I'm gonna do a full story time on my son, so you'll get more, understanding or whatever what happened. Long story short, when that happened to my son, I had to face a lot of realities, right? I had to face a lot of realities, harsh realities, but realities nonetheless. And one of those is that, you know, you know, my son was not perfect. He was not bad though, and he was not a stone cold criminal like these people try to depict him to be. He wasn't. To know my son is to know my son. And the old school's true sippers kind of know my son because my son would show up here and there and there. Like Tony would show up on my live streams and this and that and the third. But no matter what, my son didn't deserve to be murdered. He was not committing a crime when he was unalived. He was not. And that light is out here. Did it hurt in the beginning? Yeah. Do it hurt now? No. Because first of all, I know it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's the absolute lie. So I said all that to say that even as a grieving mother, you know what I'm saying? You still have to like face harsh realities when it comes to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like if my son was unalive during the commission of a crime, if my son was unalive, you know, attempted to unalive somebody else or anything like that, look, that's a harsh truth that I would have to live with. Like I would have to. It's not something that you know what I'm saying. I would be proud of or would make me feel. I just had to. I had to face it. You know what I'm saying? It's just something you have to deal with if that's the case. Wasn't the case with my son, and I'm sure this mother don't want to think that it was the case when it came to her son. All this will come out in court, I imagine. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not, you know, the things that's being said are true. But and I know the popular opinion is that it's like you should understand truth. You should understand that, and I do understand that mother's position. I do. Just because I don't agree with what happened, or I think that it doesn't mean that I don't like resonate or realize what that mother is going through. That's not true because I do, and I pray for her hard. And I don't even know that lady, but I know she's a mother. I pray for her hard, just like I pray for Amazing Bless hard. Just like I pray for any mother that has to survive on this earth after losing a child. That's a hurt, and I don't care what nobody say. That's a hurt and pain that you don't get over it. You don't get over it. You learn how to live through it, but you don't get over it. You just don't. Um, Melissa said, hello, next. too as well. It's regular men. PJ was your baby, regardless. People should respect it. Oh, you know, people should respect it, but I don't expect respect from those that that just listen. I'm I'm good with the no respect. It's just the disrespect is what gets me. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect. But you know, I've learned to live with that too as well. I've learned to accept it. I don't hear most of it anymore because, you know, unlike, you know, maybe 2 years ago, I don't listen to it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't hurt me. I know my son's story. I know my son's life. I know what happened in my son's death. I know my son is good. My son is at peace. My son actually protects me now because see, protection was, you know, me to him. Now he protects me. So I'm good. You know, that's just life. That's just life, Lisa. But, you know, people are the, you know, even if they don't want to be respectful, as grown adults, you would think they would just not be disrespectful. But that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't think like that. Because I don't speak on the deceased loved ones of my so-called ops. I don't, you know. But anywho, we still ain't got through this 2-minute clip, y'all. Let's listen.
For his court dates and to protect the community. If Anthony does post the $250,000 bond, he will be on house arrest, confined to his home with a leg monitor, and cannot leave unless the court grants permission. Asked by Judge Angela Tucker if he understood the terms of the bond, Carmelo Anthony simply said yes. Austin Metcalf's family, the victim's family, was in the courtroom. It was a packed courtroom, not a seat to be had, and the judge did acknowledge the amount of scrutiny on this case, not only from the media, but the general public, pointing out that she's presided over many murder trials involving many different races, and that she has never seen the amount of security precautions having to be taken by deputies as what they're seeing in this case. Kara, back to you.
All right, so that's it on that little news clip. Bottom line is, excuse me now. Carmelo Anthony was granted a bond reduction from $1 million to $250,000. He's also been placed on house arrest. Okay, so what we're gonna get into next, and I'm gonna touch on everything that's in my title. Then we're gonna go back and listen to some videos. But I just want to touch on. I do too, Stacy, and I pray. You know, when I heard that guy, when I listened to that clip, when I heard that guy said the security was amped up more than the judge had ever seen, that lets you know how intense this is. You got to remember where it's at. You got to remember the details of the case. And as much as people say this is not about race, it's absolutely about race. You want to know why? Because media, social media, the public, and everybody else has made it about race. And at this point, it's about race. That's just how it goes, you know, these days. Everything's about race, hell. Everything. They make everything about race. And they negate the fact that this is two young men. One lost his life. Another one's life is never going to be the same. These families are destroyed. See, they always take the focus off what's really real. And it's called propaganda. And it's sick and it's sad. But anywho, I think it's a video that dropped while I was on live and I saw it. Well, while my introduction was playing and I saw it. And it's an attorney speaking on the bail reduction. I think it's like maybe a minute long. Did I save it? I don't know if I saved it. Let me see if I can find it. I want to hear what that, sorry about that, y'all. I want to hear what that attorney had to say. So let me see if it's in my history. Yeah, this is this is it right here. This is criminal defense attorney weighs in on, hold on.
Joining us to walk through.
Criminal defense attorney weighs in on Frisco stabbing case. I thought it was a minute. It's like 2 minutes and 33 seconds. I want to listen to this as well. I want to see what this, and this is not per se his Carmelo's defense attorney. I think this is just a random defense attorney. Let's listen.
The next steps is trial attorney Daryl Washington, and this has so many different elements this morning. Daryl, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Many consider
Let's see if I can get y'all a vision. Y'all know I like to get y'all a vision. Let's see. Nobody wins. 2 young men taken from the community. Absolutely amazing. Now, amazing. I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm really glad you're here. I know you've been in the bushes. I'm really glad you decided to drop down. You know, I always second guess myself, right? I'm very hard on myself, right? So this weekend, I was just thinking, you know, am I normal for feeling the way I feel about this case, right? So, and I don't know, I know most of our true siblings know that you also lost a son more recent than me, you know, due to another young man deciding to take your son's life unwarranted, unprovoked. Actually, he tried to rob your son, and he unalived your son. So, how do you stand as far as this case is concerned? If you want to put it in the chat, if you don't have to. But what's your thoughts and opinions on this particular case right here? And while you do that, I'm gonna wait for you to answer, and then I'm gonna put up this visual. Okay, so you said no matter who it is, right is right. Okay. So you say no matter who it is, right is right. So what's your opinions on what happened from what we know? Your opinions on what happened in this particular case? Um, I'm bringing up the visuals for y'all. I guess I can play it while I bring up the visuals for y'all.
current $1 million bond to be very high. From your perspective, compared to other cases, is it?
Yes, it appears to be really high in this case. I've been involved with the case involving Botham Jean, Jordan Edwards, and you've seen in these cases where the highest bond amount was $300,000. So when you see something like $1 million, it makes you wonder why it was really that high. I mean, some of the things that you really look at when you considering a bail amount is you look at that person's criminal history, whether that person's been involved in any type of prior crimes, whether this person is a danger to the community. They also look at the family involvements. So when you look at those elements, you saw the wonder why it was set at $1 million, because here in Texas and throughout this country, you have a presumption of innocence. So when you have a bail amount that comes out so high, it gives the community sort of the thought that perhaps there's some evidence out there that suggests that this person is guilty.
Given that high bond amount, according to some observers, do you expect the judge to lower it today?
I would not be surprised if that happens. I've seen it happen in a lot of cases. And one of the things that they're really going to have to argue for this bail reduction is that this person is not a flight risk. Because basically with the bail, it's a guarantee that this person is going to appear at trial. Mm-hmm. And clearly from what I've seen thus far is that this individual has strong community ties. He's not a flight risk. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. So I really would not be surprised if this bail is reduced.
Now, we know that Carmelo Anthony got a new attorney over the weekend. Chris spoke to that. What do you think that will have as far as this?
Yeah, that's another thing we're going to talk about, y'all. So I thought this was new. This was 6 hours ago, but we're still going to listen to it because I just want to hear what this defense attorney has to say. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the fact that Carmelo's family had fired their previous attorney and now has new representation. We're going to get into that as well. I don't understand how families speak in public. I was told not to speak about my son. So was I. So was I. Well, we got to remember though, amazing. Well, see, we. So was I. I was talking about that last week. Like I was told not to speak to the media. I was told, well, not really made or told not to. Just it was told to us that it was best. Like it's best that you don't speak to the media because everything from this point, which is the night my son was unalive, into court, everything you say, everything they say, anything your family says, it's gonna be watched, scrutinized, maybe even brought up in court. So it's best that you don't speak to the media. So my family chose not to. Now I don't know if those people were told that it was best not to speak to the media. I don't know. I don't know if they decided to do it anyway. I already stated that I felt like the numerous of interviews, I'm gonna say the number of interviews that they did starting beginning of the day he passed away is odd to me. Now I was listening to another content creator that says he felt as though they were doing it to taint the jury pool for garnering sympathy and trying to get their story out there before the actual truth came out, which could be true. I don't know. To me, honestly, I just don't see how they were able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just remember the state that my family was in and how it was just, I couldn't imagine the way my family was grieving and what we were going through, being able to stand in front of cameras and actually, we could barely speak to each other as far as what was going on. So, to without breaking down, I mean, because we spoke, but I'm just saying, like, without actually breaking down. So I couldn't imagine that either one of us could go in front of a camera and discuss what had happened without just like breaking down. I was told not to interfere with the case. It could be damaging and hurt my son's case. That's what yep, I told you. They was going to be watching everything, that was being said. And we were advised not to speak to the media. So, of course, we could have did it if we wanted to, but who wants to? Like, who was able? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, people are different, so.
Significance in this hearing?
Well, it's really hard to tell with this. I have not had the opportunity to really look into this attorney's background, but generally, you want to have an attorney that is familiar with the venue. So perhaps that can have something to do with it, but it's not. It's pretty common to see, individuals changing attorneys. So I don't know what's the strategy behind it, but hopefully it's a good one because this is a really tragic case on both sides.
Yeah, well, of course, it will all shake out in just a couple of hours. Daryl Washington, appreciate you waking up early with us this morning. And of course, we will be in the courtroom for the hearing today. We'll bring you all the latest on our website at WFAA.com, and you can always stay up to date with our free streaming app, WFAA Plus, free to download to your smart TV.
With that being said, I just came across another video. Let me take this one down. Because I get alerts, y'all. When certain stuff is posted, I get alerts because, yeah. Where the attorneys in the case have spoken. So let me pull that one up. And we're gonna listen. Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, what was that? Hold on now. I'm still seeing stuff, so I'm trying to save it. I'm trying to save it to my watch list, y'all. I be trying to, play as much as I can when it comes to stuff that we're talking about, so we won't miss anything. It's a lot though, y'all. It's a lot to keep up with. It really is. Thank you for that disclaimer, Renee. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Let's see. Frisco stabbing. Lawyers react to Carmelo Anthony's bond. Okay, this is what we're about to listen to. And it dropped. Let me bring it back up. In fact, I can pull it up and we can start listening.
Good morning, everybody. There's not much.
Okay, I'm thinking this first guy that's speaking is the prosecutor. Not for sure, but we'll find out. I wanted just to thank God we received it. I also told young guy I forgave him and I want him to be saved. Every day you wake up, you can make a change. That's true. That is so true. I mean, even in prison, you choose how you even live the rest of your life in prison, or however many years you got. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if this will play. I'm gonna show try it. Y'all know me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Especially during this time of day. All right. Yeah, they are talking a lot. Ebooks is weird. I said it. It's weird to me. It's absolutely weird to me. All right, let's see if this will play. If not, we'll do the audio. I don't think it's gonna play. Let's see. All right, let me just play the audio.
Good morning, everybody. There's not much I can say, but the judge. All right. Sure. All right, there's not much I can say. The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next. Frisco PD will be finishing up their investigation. They will submit the case to my office. We will review it and ultimately present it to a grand jury. And so that's what's next. That's pretty much all I can say right now. We do our speaking as far as the facts go in the courtroom. Many of you were in there, so you understand what was said. But this is a terrible tragedy for our entire, not just Frisco, but Collin County community. One family has suffered a permanent loss. It's the most unnatural thing for a parent to lose their child. It's permanent, it's profound, it's certainly premature, and it's the hardest thing that a human being can go through is to lose their child. The Anthony family has had a different kind of loss, but not a loss nonetheless. The judge has made her call, and we look forward to continuing the process and looking forward to reviewing all the facts of the case that Frisco PD is coming up with and presented to a grand jury. What we are concerned about as prosecutors is justice, truth, and accountability. And so we will go where the facts lead us. Thank you so much.
Could you explain the security and the vitriol and just the safety even for the judge and your officer?
Well, this has definitely rocked our entire community. And so it has struck a nerve in the community. And it's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this. So that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads. Thank you so much.
And what is
Attorney.
We can't do this in here. Do this, 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds, okay. Good, everybody good? Every Texan.
So what I'm thinking now is that these are the attorneys for Carmelo.
Has the right to defend themselves when they reasonably fear for their life. And self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are two sides to every story. And Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. Thank you.
You took under the state's assessment as simple and brutal. Why so?
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and we've only heard one side. In any criminal case, the police investigate, and the defense is always far behind that. And so it is a one-sided investigation to this point, and even that investigation is still ongoing. So to say that it happened this way or that way is just not accurate at this point. All of the facts are going to come out, and that's why our system of justice requires that we keep our minds open and we let the facts come out as they are after a full investigation. I anticipate that he will be able to make bond. I can't speak to how quickly that will go. Funds, in the funds that have been raised are not quick to come out. And then, there's obviously a process to the release process once bond is posted.
The big question that a lot of people have is why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into. This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying, this is what happened, this is why, anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question, and it's something that we will find out, and we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice, that let both of these young men, the Metcalf family and the memory of who they've lost, but also Carmelo, have a fair and full justice process.
You're feeling on the reduction of this bond? You feel it's fair?
I feel it's fair. Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think, rightly imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure both Carmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
Carmelo's reaction today, he didn't seem very talkative toward you. And how has jail, I guess, been so far for this teenager? And is he like a suicide watch or anything like that?
I honestly can't speak to Carmelo's reaction because I was so focused on the hearing and what was going on and what the judge was saying. I think we have to all remember Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid who's never been in any sort of trouble before. If you can just put yourself in his shoes, this is a scary, bewildering process, and I can't even imagine what was going through his head. Just as I'm sure I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the Metcalf family. So this is something that is new to all of them and incredibly shocking.
So for people who want to know, why were you selected? I mean, what is your experience? I mean, you had to be really good.
I can't speak as to why I was selected. In any case, it's important to have an attorney that you connect with, that you feel has the right amount of experience and the right investment in the case. And I'm not speaking to anybody else. I just know that that's important in the case.
Just how unsafe does this family feel? You mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to speak for them at this point, but I think you can imagine that the press coverage on this case has been immense,
and the online and public reaction has been immense. And unfortunately, as is common in our culture, especially lately, the vitriol and the public reaction, one way or the other, has been intense. And threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not good for the peace and safety of our community. So I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down. That the media, you guys have a job to do, and I understand that everyone does, but at the same time, we just ask everyone in the public and everywhere to let this process play out fairly and fully for both sides. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. That's basically it. That's it on that. So those are the he's the, I guess, the lead attorney on as far as Carmelo's defense. That guy right there, the guy with well, they both got glasses, but the other guy, I think he was the one that was initially hired. I'm not for sure because I think it was like a female, and I can't remember her name. We're gonna watch a video that talks about her. It was a female and this guy, but I think the female is the one that was fired. But I think this guy is still on the case. But we'll get more into that. All right, so okay, we covered the bond hearing, which I'm glad it came out before I actually went live, because when I set my live, the hearing was actually taking place, so I didn't have anything on it. So the second thing we're going to talk about, and let me pull it up. The second thing that's in the title that we're going to speak about is the fact that now we know that, listen, with this situation, everybody's going to be scrutinized. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Hell, people going to be looking into who the judge is. People going to be looking into who the attorneys are. This guy right here, he's going. This is what people do in social, as far as social media. Just like there's a video out there talking about that female lawyer that was let go, and even this other guy, this other lawyer, there's videos out here talking about him as well. There's gonna be videos out here talking about Carmelo's family, mom, dad, Austin's mom, dad. Like pretty much everybody involved are gonna be talked about, gonna be looked up, gonna be looked into. So with that being said, over the weekend, first of all, let's talk about the eyewitness. There's an eyewitness that has come out and spoke. And let me, hold on, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm gonna pull it up. There's an eyewitness, y'all, that has come out. Now, there are also so-called witnesses, and the reason why I'm not gonna play those videos because it's been said that one of the female witnesses that came out and spoke, it was fake. I don't know if that's true or not, but once I hear fake, I tend to not want to play it. There's another kid that came out and spoke that was friends with Austin. I might get into that one. But the first one we're gonna get into is this eyewitness that didn't know either one of them. So that tends to make me think that he has no reason to actually come out and lie about anything. So let me pull it up. Oh wait, here it is right here. Y'all be sure to continue to hit the like button for your girl. Support the channel. Hit the cash out. Support your girl. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. So this is the visual of what we're about to listen to. Now he shows several things, but I'm gonna leave it on this right here. So the so-called witness is that guy right up there at the top in that circle. To the left is Carmelo, to the right is Austin. All right, and this is my guy. So one of my mods, please drop his link. Introvert Rockstar, that's his name. Introvert Rockstar. And this is his video. Shout out to him. Y'all go over there and check out his channel. I think his content is amazing. He's one of the ones I listen to. A lot of these people I can't even listen to because it's just too much. But we're gonna listen to the audio of him talking about this so-called witness. Okay. All right. Hold on. Give me a second. Thank you, Ebro.
The ammunition boxes and a firearm along.
Okay, so let's see.
It was raining. It got rained out like crazy.
So when it comes in, since y'all can't see, I have to explain it. The guy's talking, so listen carefully. He's gonna play it twice though. But when you hear the audio, this is the witness speaking. Thank you, Funberry. This is the witness speaking, y'all. So here we go.
That everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and what they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, the dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
And look, I'm going to say it again. Rest in peace to that young man, 17 years old. He has so much life to live. But on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable. And to the good Caucasian people, thank you for understanding and not being evil. And see, it all makes sense. I see why this family was born on every news outlet to tell their side of the story first. But don't worry, we'll get that audio clip later on in this video. And first of all, it's some things I have to address. Racist Caucasian people, and they love to gaslight black people. And they love to forget, saying things like, oh, this is not about race. Oh, black people are racist. Oh, how can y'all donate $300K to a murderer? Well, on my channel, it's my job to remind you, run the tape.
In a 2-hour taped confession with FBI agents, Roof explained why he chose Charleston's historic Emmanuel AME Church.
Is that why you chose that church? Oh, yeah.
He's playing clips from Hey D-True. He's playing a clip from a young I'm thinking a young white teenager that was that I think did a church shooting. He's playing the clip from the interrogation. What you say, Stacey? Let me see. You said, hold on. You said I saw this on TikTok by a creator but couldn't verify her source. I'm glad you were playing it. Hey, be true.
Yeah, he's talking about the guy from the Emmanuel Baptist Church.
Emmanuel, that's it.
What he walked in and he was praying with them, and then he pulled out the gun and shot everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up. I don't think he was shot. I think they captured him. But can I say something about the track meet when he said that wasn't school ground? It was school ground. The school owns that track right there, so it is considered school ground.
Okay, let me just say this. We gonna digress to the fact that he shouldn't have had the knife. How about that?
Yeah, you're right. But again, you got people on. Oh, he had it. No, he it's school grounds, regardless if it's after
Everybody
hours.
knows.
It's school
Everybody
grounds.
knows that any sports event is held on some type of school ground. It's either owned by the school, it's either a parent school, it's something. So the fact that he had the knife, and I even said this last week. I said, okay, let's charge him with having the knife. Okay, let's just charge him with having the knife. But I still stand on the fact that, and even though it's not right, let's be clear. I'm not saying that he should have had the knife and that it was right that he had the knife. I still stand on the fact that it is not unusual. That's for one. But number two, he's probably not the only kid that had, something. And for three, what was my third point? Lord Jesus, I had it. When it comes to the knife, I don't forget what the hell I was going to say. But yeah, the fact that he had the knife, he was absolutely. Oh, I know what it was. Why did he feel like he needed to have a knife at that track meet?
Yeah, I asked that question last week. It's not the fact
And
that
I'm
you
gonna still
have the
go
knife.
back. I'm gonna still go back to the fact, and I have to even because I'm gonna be fair in all of this. So the question is, why did he feel the need to have that knife at that track meet? And I'm gonna go back to the fact that there is is it Instagram? I think it's Instagram, Instagram post that Austin Metcalf put up the day of the track meet, saying, in so many words, if any of these monkeys show up at the track meet. And then he had pictures of guns. So we don't know, just like that lawyer just stated, we don't know the details. We don't know. People keep saying these young men didn't know each other. My thing is, I don't per se think they knew each other personally, but they knew of each other. I still stand on that. But that's just my opinion. And I'm going to make that clear. That's just my opinion. It's not something I'm stating as facts. All right, so let's listen some more to this clip.
You were looking for African Americans. Right. I wasn't going to go to another church, because there could have been white people there. Had you thought about going, hey, I guess more bullets and go shoot some more people? No, I was worn out.
In Roof's car, law enforcement also recovered American and Confederate flags, empty ammunition boxes, and a firearm along with a laser sight attachment.
What kind of gun did you use? A Glock 45. Okay.
Roof allegedly bought that weapon at Shooter's Choice in West Columbia, South Carolina. The gun store's manager testified in court on Monday that Roof cleared the required 3-day federal background check to receive the handgun. He says Roof bought it and 5 magazines on April 16, 2015, nearly 2 months before the shooting.
Are you glad you did it? Well, I want to say I'm glad I did it. I've done it. So.
You said it was something you had to do?
Yeah, I had to do it.
The Shooter's Choice gun store was ultimately notified by the federal government not to sell a gun to Roof because of a previous drug arrest, but that notification came 12 days after the shootings. Nora, the government should wrap up its case this week.
All right. And guess what happened when police finally arrested Dylan Roof? They took him to Burger King after unaliving 9 innocent people.
Burger King
They drove him.
Oh my God, I gotta show y'all this. I remember this case, but I remember. I do remember now. This the Burger King guy. Hold on. Those are the people he unalived.
Right after, they drove him to Burger King. Make that make sense. But this really the cold part. Check this out. On June 25th, 2015, the website Newswatch 33 published an article titled Charleston Church Shooter Dylan Roof receives $4 million in donations from supporters. According to that article, a group called Citizens for white rights somehow managed to quietly drum up the exorbitant sum of $4 million in donations for an accused racially motivated mass shooter in just over a week,
And see,
without any other
I
media
gotta say
outlets
this.
taking
And
notice.
see, this is what I'm
And
talking
again,
about.
the
This
same
is what I'm talking about when I see all these videos of these people being outraged, enraged, and just flat out ignorant and saying that this family, as far as Carmelo, does not deserve people. They are doing they already got one GoFundMe taken down, right? So the one that he has up now that's over $400,000, they're trying to get that one taken down. But yet, see, this is what I talk about when I talk about blatant shit that people want to act like don't exist, and we all know it does. This young man who unalived these people, and everybody knows that it was racially motivated. These people raised $4 million, but yet they have an issue with Carmelo's family being supported. I'm gonna play that back.
drove him right after they drove him to Burger King. Make that make sense. But this really the cold part. Check this out. On June 25th, 2015, the website Newswatch 33 published an article titled Charleston Church Shooter Dylan Roof receives $4 million in donations from supporters. According to that article, a group called Citizens for White Rights somehow managed to quietly drum up the exorbitant sum of $4 million in donations for an accused racially motivated mass shooter in just over a week, without any other media outlets taking notice. And again, the same people calling us racist donated $4 million in just a week to a person that unalived 9 innocent people. Make it make sense.
And I'ma just say it. I'ma just say it. And I'm gonna say it in a way to where you take it as you take it, or you read into what I'm about to say. When that young man, that money that was raised for that young man, I'm gonna think about the way I say this before I say it. So y'all give me a minute. I'm gonna say it though. I got to say it because I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Listen.
And look, he wasn't the only one. There's more. Check this out. Daniel Penny raises over $2.9 million in donations for legal defense for subway choking death case. The man who is being charged with the subway choking that caused homeless man Jordan Neely's death is publicly raising money for his legal defense. And see, I love breaking this shit down because people act like they forgot. But now on this channel, partner, we're going to use our platforms to finally hold racist Caucasian people accountable. Now, let's get back to that audio clip. Matter of fact, run the tape again.
It was raining. It got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up on the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, the dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
And see, in my last video on this story, I told y'all that someone was going to come forward soon and tell the truth. I also told y'all the other twin brother, he was involved. And see, I knew what they was telling us didn't make sense. The eyewitness said it was raining, so Carmelo was under the tent. Why would he leave from under the tent when it's pouring down, raining bad? It don't make sense. So he was under the tent on his phone, and the twins came from another tent in the rain to mess with him on purpose, to jump him on purpose, to punch him on purpose. And that explains why Carmelo Anthony's phone was broken. So in my opinion, Carmelo had every right to defend himself. Why would he leave from under a tent when it's raining? Make it make sense. I'm telling you, they want us to believe anything they say. And like I told y'all before, it's only 8.6% black people in Frisco, Texas. So the media is on their side. You got to understand, a lot of these racist Caucasian people in Frisco, Texas, they have money, so they can pay media outlets to spin the narrative. That's what they did. So they're going to spin the narrative and get them on every news outlet. But the cold part is, when we hear the truth, when that witness said the truth, you can hear it. We know it. And I tell y'all all the time, you have to step back sometimes and use your common sense. You have to think for yourself. Besides the audio from the witness, we have no videos of the incident. We have no pictures of the knife. The whole time, they wanted us to believe their narrative. That's why they was moving so fast, trying to tell their side of the story. It's 2025. You telling me nobody else at that track meet had their cell phones out recording anything? I'm telling you, they recorded, but like they say, the cops took it. The cops took every video and they said, you post a video about this, we're gonna arrest you. I'm telling you, the game is cold when it comes to these media, when it comes to these towns, when it's only 8.6% black people, they're gonna do that. Why wouldn't they? And this is why I love social media, because they can no longer get away with BS. A lot of stuff not making sense in 2025. And that's why I say, make it make sense. And these twins are not angels. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. The other twin, Hunter McCaff, I'm telling you, he's gonna break. They had this boy doing interviews the day his brother was murdered. Right after he was murdered, they had him doing interviews.
Now, I will speak about and I've said this, in the truth, I'll give you a chance to say something if you want to say something. I will speak about the twin brother. And I said it last week. I said he's gonna need therapy. I mean, a lot. He is. Not only it's just several reasons why. First of all, that was his brother. His name is Hunter, by the way. It was Hunter and Austin. Hunter is Austin's brother. That's his brother that's unalive. He held his, not only witness, well, I'm going to say witness, his brother being unalive. He held his brother in his arms as he passed away. Austin was his twin brother. They were joined at the hip. They played sports together. They lived together. That was his twin brother, very close. And I do agree that him doing these press conferences or interviews or whatever was not smart. I don't think. You can actually feel his energy when he's doing these interviews. He can barely talk. Now, I don't know. A lot of people saying that he was watching what he, was saying because he might say the wrong thing, this and that. But see, too, that's another reason why he shouldn't have been doing the interviews. And then I just feel as though, as like the reasons I stated before, this young man should not have been put in front of cameras to do interviews concerning this incident. I think it's just weird. That's just my opinion. Go ahead, D-True, if you want to say something.
Yes. So they're going to find people that these two have bullied. And they're going to set a pattern of what they do and how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they're going to show the pattern as being both of them get up in people's faces. Both of them intimidate people.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they need to show. This is what they need to show. We don't need some guy running out and telling us that this. And I do believe them two twins were in that other tent that was right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were over there because the two tents were side by side. And those people weren't in that tent?
They do it. They do it. These kids, I've been at track meets. They go from tent to tent to tent. Because in a small, I'm gonna just say a small town, small city, whatever. All those kids know each other. They play sports together. They may not go to the same school, but they still know each other. They live in, and I do believe that. And then there's something out here, and I haven't really gotten into it. It's another video I have saying that not Austin, but Carmelo actually had a friend that was under that tent. A friend under that tent, which is probably the reason why he was over there. He had a friend that went to that school, and he was under that tent. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying now, but you got people like this guy coming up. Yeah, you. First off, there was a middle school across the parking lot.
No.
There's a middle school across the parking lot. The recess officer said he walked across the
you
parking
said across
lot.
the street. Okay.
Yeah, right across the parking lot was a middle school. Recess officer in his statement said, I walked across the parking lot to the field when I got the call. So again, you get people on here and yeah, that's what you feel. You weren't there. And yes, there is video. I'm gonna guarantee there's video. They wouldn't have snatched all them phones. They would have no right to snatch.
I know teenagers today. First of all, their phone is always in their hand. And they are always ready to hit that record button or that live button when something go down. I think there's absolutely video, and I think that's why the cops took their phones.
So now you have conflicting reports.
Right.
Sorry, I'm eating lunch.
Of course.
Now you have conflicting reports. Now you have people saying this, they got people saying that. He got his brother's account, and he's not really saying what happened. He's just kind of dancing around. Now you have the twins' history, and now you have Carmelo's history. So now it comes down to who is the jury going to believe?
Or what they're going to be able to prove. Because a lot of this stuff that's being said should be able to be proven.
It's going to come down to the fact if they can get people that those twins have bullied. And it has to be white and black kids. It can't just be black kids that he bullied. They need to find some white kids, because I guarantee they didn't just bully black kids. They bullied white kids too. But they're going to show a pattern. And there's going to be a lot of black kids that them two bullies. I'll guarantee it. Those are the people they need to find. That's the people they need to put in front of the jury to show that there's a pattern of them doing this. And then it may make sense that they came from this other tent, because in Hunter's statement, he said the dude was sitting behind them. Talking.
Another thing I can't get past, which I wish they would be able to verify or debunk, is that Carmelo was mouthing off. They say he was mouthing off. And I don't know who he was allegedly mouthing off to, but they said that's the reason why they even paid him any attention, because he was so-called mouthing off.
But again, I don't believe that, because in the initial reports that were taken by the police, nobody mentions anything but after he was confronted. Every witness account taken on the day of the incident all talks about after the initial confrontation between Austin and him, and Austin being the one that initiated the conversation. Nobody mentions, he was sitting back there talking junk. They were arguing. Nobody mentions an argument prior to them going, hey, man, you got to get out of here. There's no conversation before that. And nobody mentions any conversation before him saying, hey, man, you got to get from under this tent. You don't belong here.
They sure did. Right.
And the day of the event is the most truthful eyewitness accounts, because it just happened. And they can't tell you any part of an argument prior to them asking him to leave. So where is it? somebody should have said, somebody had to heard him talking junk, or
Mhm.
was he just talking junk to Austin? That's the thing. So who was he talking junk to, and why, and what did he say? Nobody can tell you what he said prior to the initial contact by Austin. That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. I don't think there is a talking junk. I think he was sitting under that tent, staying dry, and on his phone.
Yeah. Sad. All right, we got like under 2 minutes left. Let's see.
The day after he did interviews, the day after that he did interviews. I'm telling you, the game is cold. These people don't care. To lie, they would do anything. They had that boy doing interviews and he's in shock. And the joke is eating him alive because he know him and his brother, they started the whole incident. But I told y'all, when it comes to racist Caucasian people, they love attacking our people and then crying wolf. But in the words of The Weeknd, save those tears for another day. And I have to give them props. The media is so cold. The media has mad at their own people. Not just that. They had people, they still got people thinking that Carmelo's family is dysfunctional. The whole time, his parents been together for over 7.
Let me give y'all a visual right quick. But I do want to say this in reacting to this guy. Now, y'all know I like his channel. I like some of the points, a lot of the points that he made, and also the receipts that he showed, right? But I don't agree with everything he says. Let me be clear on that. Some things he say I think are a little outlandish, but he has his philosophies. He has his opinions, and I respect those too as well. But the reason why I choose to play him is because, you know, his content to me, honestly, it don't have all the extra BS that comes along with it. So that's why I play his. Sonya said, I never understood why H said he heard what was being said. Oh, Hunter said that he heard what was being said, but then, you know what, Sonya, that's weird to me too as well. Because he places himself right there in the midst for the argument, but then when it came to the whole, like you say, stabbing, he said he didn't see it. Do you think that's oddly true? Thank you, Renee. He might be eating, y'all.
Let me swallow. Let me swallow.
Oh, that don't sound that I swallow too, but we're not gonna talk about that. Don't say that. That can be taken many ways.
He saw it.
You think so? You think he was right there?
Or he turned around to say something to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, you took his bag, but somehow he got his knife out of the bag.
That's what I'm still confused about. If they snatched his bag, how did he? You remember I said this last week. If they snatched his bag, how was he able to get the bag back?
Did he take the
To be
bag
able
back?
to get the knife? Well, to be able to get into the bag to get the knife.
Or did he take the knife out prior to them taking it back? I
No,
don't know.
be truth. No.
But they all say he
They
reached.
said you gonna keep doing that. They said he reached into the bag and pulled the knife.
Yes. So they snatched the bag. He takes the bag back, which snatching the bag from him is aggression, has nothing to do with asking him to leave. Taking his property has nothing to do with asking him to leave. If you want somebody to leave, why would you take their property?
Exactly. That's true. That's true.
You're actually being aggressive towards them. You took their property. Now what's he going to do? Well, first, if he knows there's a knife in that bag, he needs to get that bag back.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets the bag back. Here's the other thing people are not talking about. Did you give him a chance to leave?
Yes, that's another question. That's
Because
good.
when you're asking someone to leave your property, okay, and you feel like they're trespassing on your property,
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell them to leave and then immediately attack them.
Right.
You have to, if you ask someone to leave, they need to refuse to leave. That's why the rule of the law is when someone, before you can give a trespassing ticket to someone, right? The police officer will say, they want you to leave. They've asked you twice to leave, which means you refused to leave. So I'm going to write you a trespassing ticket. Even the police will tell you, yo, you got to leave. And they pause. Okay, leave. They may even say it twice. Now, if you choose to disregard that, then they will arrest you for trespassing. That's the way it works. You have to give the person a chance to actually leave. So when did you give him a chance to leave? Did he refuse to leave? Was his response, hit me and see what happens? Why would he say hit me unless you were acting in a way that you were going to hit him? Where would that come from? Where would hit me and see what happens come from if you had no posture in hitting him? These are the things, like, again, you can't just jump on somebody because they're in a space that you believe they don't belong, and it's not your space. You know, just like people say, oh, I didn't see no trespassing signs. Well, you don't have to see
Keep talking, I'll be right back. Keep talking, I'll be right back.
You don't have to see no trespassing signs. If someone comes out on the porch with a gun and says, I need you to get off my property, you need to get off their property. It's not a dispute of whether it's their property or not. You need to just back up. Back up, and you live to fight another day. I always tell people, hey, if there's a chance that you could be hurt or lose your life over something as stupid as this, you need to come back and fight another day. If it is not his property, then you back up and you call the police and say, this man just threw me off. This isn't his property. Why is he attacking me? Why has he got a gun? Why is he being aggressive towards me? These are things you need to ask yourself. If a bar owner asks you to leave, leave. It's their property. Yeah, it's their property, and they have every right to ask you to leave. If you choose not to leave and the police are called, you're going to be hit with a trespass. Now, the police may give you a chance to leave.
Sonya said Hunter may have been the actual reason why the weapon came out, and feeling guilty about his brother getting hurt definitely withholding information. Well, and what some people are saying, and that they started with this young man, he may feel guilty because of that. Like, they started it, and because they started it, this is what happened. So we don't know. I mean, we just don't know. Not yet. All right. Let's listen.
10 years. This is the real dysfunction, but they won't talk about that. They gonna make you feel like this is the perfect family. They God fearing, they believe in God, they believe in Jesus, and they just so perfect. No, those kids were messed up. They were bullies. So in my opinion, I still blame their parents, because if those twins would have minded their own business, this would have never happened. But still, rest in peace to that young man, because 17 years old, that's still young as hell. And shout out to that witness, man. I hope there's more witnesses that come forward and speak on the behalf of Carmelo, because we need you. And I just love how brave this witness was, because I knew it all along. See, they're going to make you feel like this not real. They're going to make you think this is fake. But all along, that's why they was on these news outlets just telling their side of the story. That's why. When the last time you saw a murder happen in one day and hours later you trying to tell everything that happened? I'm telling you, that's a liar. That's a bully. And Hunter McCaff, he's in shock. He's going to be in guilt for the rest of his life, because he knew him and his brother started that whole altercation. So free Carmelo Anthony, and to his family, my heart goes out to you, and I will continue to support y'all. I'm out.
Okay.
Keep it out on Monday.
All right. So we're at the 2 hour mark, but we're gonna get into one more video. And the truth, I need you, and I should have sent this to you earlier, but there was so much going on earlier. But listen, I need you to look into this next accusation. Let me pull up the video. If you want to say something, you can go ahead and say it while I do this. You might be eating too. You done caused me to go in there. You done caused me to go in the kitchen and get a cold piece of chicken. I just want you to know that.
I like cold chicken.
I love it. And it's your fault. It is.
I had ribs.
Did you? Please don't do that. Because you know I said that I'm not going to eat a rib, which I am craving until Sunday. Now, why did you have to tell me you over there eating a rib?
Because
That's how you do me. That's how you do me.
Well, that's what I ate. You want to know? It's good rib too. It's good rib.
I gotta find this video, y'all. Hold on.
Is it me or the guy that was supposed to be the witness? He really didn't sound like a kid.
He wasn't a kid. He said his kids was in the track in the
meat.
In the meat, yeah. They were his kids were there. He was a parent.
Yeah, I was like, he's not a kid, but this is the reason that police ask people to come forward immediately. You know, like you need to come forward immediately. If you see something, you have to say something. Because you're letting the other side manipulate the story. And when you come out 2 or 3 days later,
I agree, but it's not always that easy.
It is. You go to the police department. Like this. But you go to the police department. You see, they were telling everybody, come to police. If you got something, please come to police. You know. Again, those tents were side by side. 2 schools had a tent side by side. So I do kind of believe the story, but it kind of sounds like a secondhand story.
I don't know.
It kind of sounds like a secondhand story that he heard that maybe his kids told him, maybe his kids were there, they were around, and he don't want to get them involved. But to me, it gave me the feeling of a secondhand story that he was telling.
It could be. So, the last thing we're going to listen to today is our introvert rock star got a hold of this TikTok video. And what you're going to hear when I start playing is this guy talking. He's listening to this guy from TikTok talk about the dad, whose name is Jeffrey Metcalf. All right.
Hey, TikTok, I told you that when I came back, I would share some information with this platform. So at 4:30, I came on and I shared this.
Hold on.
No other network has
done. Let me try to show y'all what he just. Now he's standing in front of that. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna show this right here. This is what he showed me. I don't know if y'all can read that.
On this, you've seen it first right here with me. Breaking news. Jeffrey Metcalf. I broke it to the internet. Now, if you see it anywhere else, just know where they got it from. They got it from me. No other news network, no other TikToker, no other creator has this. So I'm asking you now to share this video
to everybody. I want this video on everybody FYP. You see, the more people that sees this, it creates support for Anthony because the narrative needs to be changed. I honestly think in my heart of hearts that those boys wouldn't be the boys they are if it wasn't for this clown. That's why I say Anthony needs to be released on his own recognizance, and this clown needs to take his fucking place. Don't like this video. Like it, repost it, and share it.
And before I go all the way in on this video, can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all please go follow this content creator on TikTok, because he was the first one with this information. But like I always say, rest in peace to that young man. But on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable. And to the Caucasian people that's not racist, this belt is not for you. In this interview, well, multiple interviews, this man said he wasn't there, but he still knows what happened. And then he told us to stop spreading rumors. Make that make sense? Well, since you know everything, partner, why is the media hiding this information from us? Because let's just be real. If Carmelo's dad had an essay charge on his record, it would be all over social media. It'll be on YouTube, it'll be on Facebook, it'll be on Instagram, it'll be on TikTok. Matter of fact, it will be on all news outlets. I told y'all, the game is cold. The media is cold with this shit. This family went to every news outlet, and instead of the news telling the truth about this family, that they are dysfunctional as hell, the news outlets tried to make this family look perfect, saying they was God-fearing, religious family, all that bullcrap. But the ex-wife, she almost embarrassed the whole family. But the son.
Before we get into his thing about the interview and the ex-wife, what do you think about the dad having this charge, Detroit?
I don't know. I got mixed feelings about that. Again,
Well, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
I'm just saying you're dragging the father into it. I mean, you should be looking at the lifestyle that they were brought up in. They were brought up with hunting, guns. Everybody's got a gun. They need to expose the kids' Facebook posts because they're out there. They're out there. They need to bring people up and say, the
main reason why I think this guy, and I'm gonna just say it because he said it before this came out. He made a point of he thought that when the father, who's Jeffrey, came out and said it starts at home, he said it's sexual assault, Melissa. He's got a sexual assault charge. So the father in one of those, in more than one of those interviews, I know at least two of the interviews, the father stated it starts at home. He made that statement twice that I know of. And he said it starts at home, speaking about what happened with his son, right? This guy felt as though he was throwing digs at the parents. So with that being said, this right here coming out on the dad, he was like, the hypocrisy, like how you gonna say, because see, the media, the truth, is out here portraying Carmelo's parents and his bringing up, his raising, and his family life like he was raised as some kind of thug or something. They really scrutinizing his family. And so, and you get the dad that comes out here and says it starts at home. But in the meantime, in between time, you got this going on. Not only this, but just like you said, the truth, we got you raising your sons with these big guns and this and the third. Go ahead.
There's going to be racist posts. If those two kids are racist, there's going to be racist posts. If those kids said things to other black students in the Frisco school system, it will come out and they will say it. And if they could paint them as two racists, this whole thing will change.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing will change. Now, I think that says 2011 or could be 2001.
It's hold on. I know it's blurry, y'all. Hold on. It is. Hold on. Let me try to.
Is it 2011?
2011.
2011. This could be the reason that they're divorced.
I think that's what this guy is going to end up saying. That's the reason, because he's going to point out that in one of the interviews, the son was about to say something, or had said something about the dad, or the mom was about to say something about the dad, and the son kind of hushed her up. I wish it would play. Let me get to the timestamp and see if I can get it to play, because I want y'all to, somebody, hold on, y'all.
I could see this as the reason that they divorced. And if you could paint the father as a racist, hey, the apple don't fall far from the tree. You know, if the parents are racist, 9 times out of 10, the children are gonna be racist. Just the way it is.
Yeah, it's kind of, you're not born racist. You're taught to be a racist. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, that's my philosophy. You didn't just come out the womb to be
You
racist.
get little toddler kids to play, baby. They don't care what they don't care what you are. They don't care. They just friendly as hell. They don't care. Let me see if this part of play, because I want y'all to see what he's pointing out in this interview. Let me see if it'll play. Let's see. Oh shit, you can't even hear it. Hold on, let me see if it drops.
Yeah, no sound.
Yeah. I see that. Let me see. I don't understand. Okay, let me do this. Let me take it down and bring it back up. I want y'all to see this. That's not what I wanted. What the hell? Oh, actually it is. Actually it is. Hold on. Excuse me, yeah.
Religious family, all that bullcrap. But the ex-wife, she almost embarrassed the whole family, but the son saved her.
All right, let me let y'all hear what he said before he actually played it. Hold on.
From us, because let's just be real. If Carmelo's dad had an essay charge on his record, it would be all over social media. It'll be on YouTube, it'll be on Facebook, it'll be on Instagram, it'll be on TikTok. Matter of fact, it will be on all news outlets. I told y'all, the game is cold. The media is cold with this shit. This family went to every news outlet, and instead of the news telling the truth about this family, that they are dysfunctional as hell, the news outlets tried to make this family look perfect, saying they was God-fearing, religious family, all that bullcrap. But the ex-wife, she almost embarrassed the whole family, but the son saved her. Run the tape.
I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to ask you one last question. I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else. Yes, okay.
Okay, did y'all see that? Did y'all hear that?
But
Now, D-True made a point last week of saying, well, both of us was talking about the fact that whenever they did interviews, the mom and the daddy was never in the same vicinity of each other. Like the dad, they would have the dad separate, then they had the mom and the son. You've never seen the mom and the dad do an interview together. So this guy brought up an interview and brought up the dad. Now pay attention. I'm gonna play it one more time, y'all.
Sorry. I'm going to ask you one last question. I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else.
Did you see that song, Sure? Now he said something about the daddy being you have that guy. I don't know what that newsman been watching, or maybe I missed it. The husband and the wife ain't never did an interview together. I don't think.
No.
I haven't seen it.
And then when he said he's in the room with you right now,
if he was about to say why he wasn't in the room.
Yeah, he don't come in this house. She was about to say he don't come in. Shh. No, shh. Yeah, because because again, if you bring up the fact that there's a problem, people will start looking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe the 2011 incident is what made him very religious. I don't know. I'm looking for the case
they be
now.
religious and do stuff like that all the time. It be them ones.
True,
Sonya said the dad said it was his weekend when A got hurt, when Austin got hurt. So they are separate, well, divorced, and they have, he have weekends, I guess. I never heard that, but of course I could have missed it. Wow. Thank you, Renee. Okay, let's listen, y'all. I gotta get off here in a few minutes.
Who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
But I have seen interviews with your husband in the last 24 hours, and it was remarkable to me that I heard your husband say within hours of this that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And I honestly don't know that I could, and I just want to see, and I don't know if there's a right or a wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy.
I'm not like the dad. I'm so angry with that boy. I wish they wouldn't say that, that boy. But hey, I'm gonna let that go. But I'm gonna back it up.
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy.
Damn, son, why does she hate you so much? As soon as that news reporter said husband, look at her face. Her face, all those fake tears, they dried up. She got angry. You can see it all in her face. Why does she hate you that much? Make it make sense. Now, this is what you call real dysfunction. And ain't it crazy how racist Caucasian people, they always love to stereotype black people, but in reality, they are more dysfunctional than us. Yeah, they know how to hide it well, but don't be fooled. And see, on my channel, I love keeping that same energy. All that I'm deep in my faith, super religious BS, it doesn't work on me. I see right through it. Also, in this interview, you took slick shots at Carmelo's parents. Let's read. This man said, maybe parents can educate their kids on senseless acts of violence. And he said it starts at home. What you mean, senseless acts of violence? Your sons, your twins are bullies. What you mean? It starts at home. What home? That woman, your ex-wife, left you when you caught that SA charge. What you mean? It starts at home. Make it make sense. And see, it's two things that racist Caucasian people and have in common. They always try to manipulate you with their super religious talk. Or my faith is deep. I trust in God. It's all fake. It's all cap. They do that on purpose to manipulate you. And then they try to act perfect, like they have no flaw, like they just God's gift to earth. But in reality, it's the whole opposite. And see, the reason that Father keeps saying he don't want people online spread rumors, because they want to control the narrative. They don't want stuff like this to get out. Run the tape.
In 2011, Jeffrey Metcalf was arrested for SA. Those twins was 4 years old at the time. Shortly after that, the mother, Megan, packed up those fucking twins and got the fuck out of that house. Let's put the blame on him. Let's blame him for his son not being here. We need to shift focus. I don't mind dragging a Metcalf through the fucking mud if I could save Carmelo Anthony's fucking life. It's some shit going on with this guy, and the world needs to see it. I'm the only one on social media pushing this shit. I'm begging and I'm asking for help to push this narrative. He's hiding something. He's fucking hiding something. What if, just what if he did,
Now, see, I gotta say this. I got to say this, and I'm gonna play it because I want y'all to know what I'm talking about. But this is the part of this video that I don't agree with. This is the part of this video that I don't agree with. No matter who the person is or what the situation is, I don't agree. And y'all know this about me. I don't agree. Now, we there's a charge out there. The only reason why I don't mind talking about the charge because it's the actual charge. That's why I told D-Truth to look into it. I don't know the outcome of the charge. I don't know none of that. But we do know there's a charge out there, right? But I don't agree with what this guy's about to do right here. I don't agree with him insinuating that this father, Jeffrey Metcalf, did anything to his sons sexually or otherwise. I don't agree with that. I don't. And I think that's what he's about to do.
Nah. And maybe those boys are the way they are because of what the father. I would harbor resentment for the rest of my fucking life. Maybe those boys had to grow up a little bit faster than other 17-year-olds. Here's the problem.
So to you, Mr. Metcalf, while you out there running up a bag off your son's death, stop throwing about morals. Ain't none of us perfect, especially you. And for this dysfunctional ass family to get on all these news outlets and act perfect and talk about God, talk about religion, the audacity. And to my people, you see how the cops, the school, the students, the news reporters, the news outlets, they all stick together no matter what. Even with Austin being in the wrong, they all stayed on code. Even though the ex-wife hates her ex-husband's guts, they still stay on code. So in our community, we need to be the same way. And I know we have a lot of in the community, but don't even worry about them. They are irrelevant. Our focus is sticking together, putting out the hidden truths and supporting this family, because one day is Carmelo, the next day is your family member. And like my boy Red Supreme said to the gangsters and the gangbangers, it's time for us to recognize who our real ops are. So free Carmelo Anthony, I'm out.
All right. That's going to be it for today. D-Truth, you got anything to say about that revelation?
I will run a background check and see what the disposition of the case is. Now the problem is they may have sealed it after it came out.
Yeah, because they could have, because this happened way back in 2011. That's a long time.
I'll still be able to find it, but
Yeah,
the court sealed it because of what's going on.
Now, what I think is important about that is the fact that at the time of this, whatever happened, hold on a minute. Go ahead and talk to you.
So I'll do a background check and see if I can't find what they're talking about. Yes, it looks like it's real because they're showing the background check. it looks like it's real, and there is something about the 2011 case, and he is right that I believe the mother divorced him because of this. Now they're saying he's charged with essay of a minor under 18. So I'll look into it, but most of this stuff is on X and on Instagram. I'm not seeing anything else being posted anywhere but on Instagram and X right now. But they're mostly complaining about that he has a fundraiser going on, and it's up to $300,000.
Oh, it's over that. That was before the weekend. It's like almost 450, or maybe over that by now. But yeah.
Here's the thing, though. If he's found innocent, they could sue them for that $450,000.
I ain't gonna get into that. Now, what I was about to say. How could they can sue who for 400?
But you can't. Okay, so that just like Metcalf's family.
Who can sue who? Put a name on it. Who can sue who?
Metcalf's family can sue their family because you can't gain, you can't receive monetary.
First of all, be true.
What?
Hold on. Were you not here when I played the clips where them other young men raised millions and millions and millions of dollars? That's for one. For number two, sue them for what?
And they should have been
sued them for what?
You can't make, just like a mass murderer cannot write a book about his crimes. You can't make money off your crime.
He's not making money off his crime. In fact, he's not even the one that got the thing up. It's the parents. So you mean to tell me the parents can't set up a fund?
For what though? Do they need help with the funeral? What is the money for?
No, the money. See. Now I'm gonna get angry. It's for his defense. The same reason why the other people set up a fund.
I'm talking about Metcalf. What are they? Could they not bury their
Well,
son?
I don't know what, but you're not talking about Metcalf. You're talking about Damn it, I can't even say his name. You're talking about Carmelo, right?
No. Well, again. For Carmelo's defense, they can't take that away.
To be honest, for me, I think the Metcalf family are the ones that's actually looking to gain from their son's demise because, okay, so you couldn't have needed the money for the funeral. The funeral has happened. The money is still over there, for one. For two, they did it the same damn day he passed away.
That's what I'm asking. What do you need? What are you raising money for? Are you raising?
According to the GoFundMe, it's to help them heal.
Help them heal.
That's what it says.
I
talked about this. See,
are you using it for psychiatry? What are you using it for? I don't understand.
How do you set up a GoFundMe to say you need money to help you heal? You don't heal from no shit like this, and I can guarantee you, money does not heal you. If you're greedy, then money is not gonna heal you. That's what it said on that GoFundMe. For our family to heal, they set up a GoFundMe. Now you tell me who's trying to gain for what. I'm just saying.
I'm in total agreement. I don't understand what your GoFundMe is for. I could see if you were trying to raise money to bury him, but damn, I mean, they all have GoFundMes. Ricker, whatever his name, the one that shot the black guy in the riot, saying he was defending a car. He raised millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Freaking, what's his name from Florida that shot the young kid? He raised millions of dollars. I'm like,
and that goes back to what I wanted to say originally at the beginning of the live, and I'm gonna say it. But before I say it, I'm gonna say this. Now, the fact that when that dad got charged with that and the twins were 4, you gotta think about these two. What you think about this? the twins were 4. So that means from, you know, if that wife left him due to that charge, that means those twins were raised between the mom and the dad, 2 different households. 2 different households. They were raised in 2 different households because apparently the dad gets weekends or however that go. And the fact that the mom really does seem like she still got ill whatever towards the dad. So how do you think that played into the theory, and I'm gonna say theory, that they were bullies or that they had issues stemming from home, since this guy want to say it starts at home? How do you feel about that?
Well, but you could tell what kind of father he is.
Well, yeah,
Camouflage, guns
yeah,
everywhere. You can
yeah.
tell what kind of father he is. And I'll guarantee it's going to come out. It will come out. But, you know, what people don't understand is, you know, we do frown upon highlighting the victim in a bad light. Just like when it comes to essay trials, the defense is going to try to really break down that
I'm
person.
glad you made that point, and the reason why I'm glad you made that point, let me tell you why before I forget. Because tomorrow we're gonna look into, shout out to Sis Lucius. All right, y'all go over there and check out my community wall and send her prayers in that comment section. We're gonna get into the case of this young man, and I'm sure y'all have heard about it. I'm sure y'all have heard about it. I don't know if you can pronounce his name, Kyron Lacey.
Oh, he committed, yes. Yes. He
Last
just,
night, well, the
yes.
other night.
Yeah.
So his death is due to the media.
Mhm.
hmm Check it out, did you research it?
I've been looking.
Kyren Lacey. We're gonna get into his case tomorrow. So I'm glad you made the point of saying something about the media and putting the victim in a
Yeah.
different light, and then taking the other person and putting them in this particular. We're gonna talk about all that. But as far as the amounts of monies that was raised, I made a statement last week, and I remember making a statement that I was disappointed in some our, when I say our, I mean African American celebrities, actresses, actors, all any African American that's walking around here with more money than they can spend, and come out, and you see them come out and speak on dumb shit. And when I say dumb shit, they pick and choose what they tend to want to talk about as far as the media is concerned when stuff like this go down. Now we ain't heard. Now I talked about how the only celebrity that I've seen spoken on this was Eddie Griffin, and I've seen nobody else. Maybe they have. I haven't seen it, but I want to make the point in saying I think it's a shame. See, those young men that raised those millions of dollars, they didn't raise those millions of dollars from the average Joe Smo uh, people. Those millions of dollars was raised because it was some big wigs donating to those GoFundmes. It was some lead. It was some of them. It was, see, when it comes to us, our people, we need to do better. See, they was able to raise those millions because it was people with big money sending money to them damn GoFundmes. This young man don't have that. I don't feel. I don't feel like the support that was shown to them and it ain't the other side's fault. I'm just making a point and saying I just think it's ridiculous. Anywho, I had to get that out. I had to let it be known that I think it's ridiculous that these leaders, you know, and this guy pointed out the TD Jakes, the Kirk Franklins, who was the other one he pointed out? TD Jakes, Kirk Franklin. Oh, and Marvin of the South, them. And those like them that got all this money, and they're probably not supporting this young man. They're definitely not supporting him in public, and it don't look like they could be supporting in private. That's all I'm gonna say. But anywho, anything else you want to say before we get off here? I want y'all to go and check out my community to while go over there to Lucius' channel. Send up prayers for Lucius, this young man's family. And we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Renee. Let me check it out. He true. He probably already working, y'all. When I get this watch. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Shout out to Cash App is so slow. They get on my nerves. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Renee. You say keep up the great job, Truth. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I will, Renee. Thank you so much, sweetheart. All right, y'all go and check out Lucy's channel. She's got community wild post about this. I'm not sure if she got. Let me see if she got a video, because if not, I haven't seen it. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let's see something, because I want y'all to go over there and support her. Oh boy, no video. She's got a short, but it's her grandbaby, the cutest thing ever, cleaning up, helping clean up. So she only has community wild posts. So y'all go over there and check it out. Support her. Drop her, little encouragement in the comment section, and we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. Okay. With that being said, the truth, what are you doing? I know he probably over there working already, y'all. But anywho, I appreciate you, D Truth. Thank you so much for coming up. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to y'all that's supporting these live streams. I honestly do appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you so much for the monetary support, Renee. I appreciate that. I will see y'all in maybe an hour or so on the T channel for a couple of hours, okay? Until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. All right. I will see y'all later, and thank y'all so much for joining. I'll be back tomorrow on this channel around the same time, okay? All right, so with that being said, until the next time, True Sippers and Stank Gang, stand up and we out. Y'all be good. I tried to wait for D True, but he probably working, y'all. All right, y'all, we out.